service and volunteerism is a growing movement around the world. In South Africa, teenagers from grade 8 to 12 are required to do between 20 and 100 hours per year as part of the life orientation curriculum. It's a lot to fit into a child's busy academic and extracurricular schedule, and it can be quite time-consuming and stressful for a parent to try and organise. To help us with this issue, I have in studio Marina Constas, an attorney and director of BBM Attorneys and founder of an amazing initiative called Community Hours SA, as well as St John's College Deputy Headmaster Martin Heesheimer, who looks after the community service portfolio at his school. Welcome to NikkiBushTV. So Martin, how seriously is community service taken by schools today?
Well, Nikki, as you mentioned in your introduction, it is now a compulsory part of the syllabus. So it's not as though schools have a choice whether they should engage with this or not. And it is taken very seriously. Besides the fact that it forms one of the 4 certificates for the LO at the end of matric, other things are associated with that as well. Leadership programs, you have to do a certain number of community service there, for example, in schools. And some tertiary education studies demands you to have done a certain number as well.
So part of your entry qualifications, they're looking at your hours. And I know that some of the big companies that offer bursaries require an enormous number of community hours in order to even look at you. And you could be a top candidate, but if somebody else has got 100 hours and you've got 80 hours, you just don't make the grade.
It's exactly that. You need to make yourself stand out above all of these thousands of people that are applying for positions, and that is one way of doing it.
Yeah, and then Marina, do we want these kids to just tick the box and get the hours done? Because it's quite a big thing to get these hours done during the year, or is volunteerism about something so much more?
It really is about so much more, Nikki. I think we don't want our teenagers to have to endure community service. We want them to go out there and engage with people less fortunate. It broadens their horizons. I think also, you know, giving. It doesn't only mean that you're giving to somebody. It means that you actually are receiving something for yourself. And I think that teenagers these days need to do a lot more than go to a place where they kick a soccer ball around with an orphan. You know, I think they must engage, and they also need to find what resonates with them. What charities do they enjoy?
So we're saying, in a way, it's a kind of servant leadership, in a way, is getting out there and serving your community. And what I like so much is that, in a way, you're building a sense of community, because children can live in a bubble. On their school campus, in their socio-economic little bubble.
Yes.
And I think community service takes them out of that bubble and shows them that life, there's a whole lot more to life out there than just where they live and where they go to school.
Correct, but I think it also needs to be on their terms. So they need to find something which resonates with them. You know, it's no good doing something that you're forced to do by your parents, or that you're dragged off to do by your friends.
So you're looking for that intrinsic motivation.
Use your skill.
So tell me a little bit about Community Hours SA, because I have a 15-year-old and I've been setting up community service projects for him to do his hours, and I know that last year it took me an entire day of my time to try and set that up. It was actually quite stressful.
I think it is, and I think we're the answer to many parents' prayers, to be quite honest. We launched Community Hours SA in July, and it's an online website which matchmakes teenagers to charities which are accredited and registered. So we work really hard to find opportunities for teenagers, out of the box, interesting charities, and you, which again resonate with them.
So I think you mentioned to me when we were chatting the other day that, say, for example, you have a child who's a swimmer. They might not want to go and deal with pets, but how about they go into the Hillbrow Swimming School and help out there doing something they love, but actually making a difference at the same time?
Exactly, and you can take an example of, for example, Lefika. Lefika is an art therapy studio which helps inner city Hillbrow children through holiday programs. So they need people who are artistic to utilize those skills, and that's what it's all about. You're good at maths, tutor maths. Do what you know, presses your button.
So Community Hours SA is a website.
It's a website.
And who can register on the website?
Well, you've got teenagers from grade 8 right up until matric. We also look for different, there's for medical, for example, we've got medical charities if you want to do medicine,
so
which is important.
charities can register on this site as well?
Charities and schools.
So anybody needing volunteers to help with their outreach programs, and that's where you get the match. So the kids register, the charities register, and they can find each other online, which makes it so much easier than mum sitting behind a phone, phoning all her friends saying, do you know where my child can go and volunteer? And we land up at the local vet and SPCA because that's all we know. Now there are so many different other options. Now, Martin, your school, St. John's, has just signed up 870 learners with community hours SA.
Yes, indeed.
So how do you think this is going to streamline this whole process of community service for your learners, for your parents, and for your school?
Well, I think it is exactly that. It is streamlining the entire thing. For the school, we know that the people, or the boys and girls, must do a certain number of hours, and we throw it to the parents to organize. We might organize a bus into Alex for something, but there are just so many hours that 570, 780, however many kids must do. So certainly for us, administration-wise, it is fantastic. We don't have to have community service cards going out with kids anymore.
Okay.
We are
so this all gets logged on the site?
Yes,
right.
Which is awesome. We get emails from the site that tells us Johnny has done so many hours of community service at that place, and actually report on how he did.
Okay, and it also means that the kids can't fudge the hours.
That's exactly the thing, yes. And with boys, that's an important consideration.
So, Martin, can you just tell us one of the most inspiring stories that you've got from your school community in terms of community service? Well,
every year we have boys who do well beyond what they should be expected to do, 400, 500, 800 hours of community service. But the one that really stuck with me, about 5 years ago, our head boy decided to clean out his cupboard and give whatever he wasn't wearing anymore to the needy. He was amazed at how much he could get and his father could get out of their cupboards. Took that to school, and then there was an exponential growth, because then our sister schools joined us, the primary schools joined him, and in the end he had 57 schools collecting clothing. They collected in excess of 580 tons of clothes, with a estimated value of about 275 million rand, which was all just distributed to the needy.
Absolutely incredible.
It was amazing.
Awe-inspiring. Yeah. Marina, do you have a quick story to share with us before we close?
Well, we had a young gentleman actually from St. John's who came through to El Dorado Park, to one of the street stores that we put up. And that was just an amazing experience, watching him taking little children through the street store, trying things on for them. You know, it's just
really
the engagement. That's the bottom line.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you both so much for being here today. So to Marina and to Martin, thank you for those inspiring stories. And we need to make community service matter in a way that's not just, I think, 67 minutes a year, but doing it as a lifestyle. So whether you're a school, parent, charity or learner, for more information, go to communityhours.co.za. And on that note, I dare you to go and change the world, one parent, one teacher, one leader at a time.